Good evening, YouTube. It's Mike. It's February 25th, 2009. Sorry it's a bit late. I was working today. However, I'm going to have three different updates. So we'll start with the first one. Now, of course, my previous videos, some of which have been about preparations for upcoming chaos, etc., etc. I mean, people shouldn't read too much into this, okay? Now, the scale of the countries around the world makes it difficult to gauge exactly what kind of effect the upcoming economic collapse will have anywhere in the world. I mean, Eastern Europe is probably going to be worse than Western Europe, just because they haven't developed as much. Now, Western Europe, parts of it will be a little shaky, but and certainly you will see in some cases sporadic riots, things like that. But if you're smart, you can keep out of the way. If there is a total collapse of government, this would be rather unusual to see. And I've included a link to a piece about, it's from a Russian who basically witnessed some of the things that happened during the collapse of the Soviet Republic when it turned into Russia. And some of the things that he says, basically make a lot of sense. So I've included that, and it's rather long, so if you want a good read, that's a good place to start. But anyway, so my, what to do to prepare is more about how to look at it intelligently. And think about, and the most important word is think. Think about what's important to you, and also think about what's the risk of it actually happening in my hometown. Okay? So if you live in New York City, there's going to be little pockets where things are bad and little pockets where things aren't so bad. There's going to continue to be work in certain places, and if you read this article, you can think about, okay, if you get laid off or whatever, what are you going to do? How are you going to make money, etc., etc. So, and the government itself will likely not collapse. It all depends on how they decide to handle the emergency, and what kind of draconian measures they put in place. But anyway, as you probably may have noticed on that particular video, I had a lot of negative comments, much more than usual. And the reason is quite simple. Let me just pull this up here. The basic reason is, of course, because I'm a YouTube partner, I get promoted a little higher than most other videos, which means that yesterday I was number 3 in the UK, I believe. Number 4 in partners in the UK, number 2 in reporters in the UK. So I beat ITN, very nice, yay! Still got to beat the Games Network. I don't know, they've got something like 70,000 hits every day. I don't know, people looking at games. And of course, worldwide, I was number 22 in the reporters category. And the video itself comes up on the second page or the first page in most countries when you click on news and reporters or whatever it's called. And even in some cases, I was actually turning up on the second or third page or even the first page of the YouTube itself. Because I was a partner, I was being promoted. This is one of the benefits. This also means that I got a lot of people who have never heard any of this stuff and just think that I'm a complete lunatic. Which is fine. Let them think that. And I had some good discussions in there, and yes, I messed up on the word budget, and I should have said budget deficit and all this stuff, but I'm a patterns guy. I think in big things. I rarely point out details. But anyway, not the point. Point is, at 2:15 this morning, one of my viewers in the UK, actually a new viewer in the UK, obviously stumbled across my report, got upset with me and sent me a personal message. Now, I'm not going to mention who it is, it doesn't matter. And it's a personal message, I'm not going to try and tick the guy off. But what he says in here is quite relevant, and it's titled Responsibility. So I'm going to stop for doing some reports for a bit and just detail some of this. Now, so basically he starts off by saying, "For your sake, I hope you're correct. You will have created a lot of fear in a lot of people by April." Okay. Currently my video's got, I think, 10,000 views worldwide, 10,500. That's certainly not a lot of people, and the majority of those people are actually in the States. So anyway, some of your viewers will stock up on supplies they can only just afford when money could be better directed elsewhere. Okay, they're spending money on one set of things as opposed to something else, completely trivial. So they may be spending money on stocking up for food or supplies or, you know, gadgets or whatever. They're still spending the money. They're not spending it on junk. They're not going down to the bookies and spending it there. They're not going to restaurants spending it there, but they're spending it at supermarkets and drugstores and convenience stores. Still money being spent. Get a grip, guy. They're not going to, I mean, well, there is always a small chance a small radical fringe will blow all their money somewhere, and they shouldn't be, but they'll get over it, don't worry. These people might not enjoy your salary. I don't think that you have thought through your newfound celebrity. Okay, I seriously doubt it's celebrity. Thank you very much. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos out there. They get 2 and 3 million hits and, you know, 10,000 comments. 3/4 of which are, "You're gay," or the other 3/4 are, "You're awesome." So, anyway. Time will tell whether you are correct or an imbecile who has created fear, dread, and has harmed lives. Yes, indeed, time will tell. Now, the meaning of the word imbecile, for those of you out there that are unfamiliar with the exact meaning, a silly or stupid person, yeah, okay, I have been silly at times, a person whose mental acumen is well below par, well, I disagree with that one, a person of moderate to severe mental retardation having a mental age from 3 to 7 years. Okay, I strongly disagree with that one, but we'll get back to that in a minute. If you have spent the last 3 months wrongly sowing the seeds of impending chaos in the minds of vulnerable viewers, I suggest that you never darken the internet again and spend a long time with a sense of shame and self-disgust. I work here. I work on the internet. That's the way I am. I'm going to be on the internet for a while, assuming there is an internet, of course. And secondly, I spend a long time with a sense of shame. No, I feel no shame getting people to think about things. And self-disgust. No, I would never be disgusted with myself. I am quite content in how I am, and myself, and my being, and my spirituality. And I know that God has made me the very best that I can be. I may improve, or I may degrade with time. I don't care. At this particular moment, I am perfect in the eyes of God. So there you go. Don't really care what your thoughts are. However, then he gets to the last sentence. The last sentence is quite funny. Personally, I think that you know nothing. Okay, so everything before this was not a personal attack. Okay, fine. I think that you know nothing. Well, I must know something, or I wouldn't be able to make videos on YouTube. And are another bog standard, preposterous, and ridiculous crank. Okay. Gonna get personal, are you? Alright then. So this is why I chose to make this particular personal message more public. So my response is a bit more public, and this is going to be fun. Yes, so bog standard. Basic and unexceptional, normal, average. Okay, I'll grant you that. I may indeed be making bog standard videos. Although, unlike most of them, I am actually well lit. You can hear my voice, and sometimes I actually have meaningful things to say if you'd bother checking the other videos out. However, ridiculous. Okay, from the Latin, ridiculous, laughable. Ah, so I am laughable. Well, that's fine. I mean, if people want to laugh at me, that's cool. As long as they actually think as well, that's fine. They can laugh their heads off. As long as at the end of it they stop and think, well, hang on a second. He told us about this, and he told us about that, and he told us about this, and he told us about that, and funnily enough, they're all coming together right now. Why is that? That's all I want them to do, is to think. Preposterous. Okay. Contrary to nature, reason, or common sense. Absurd. Okay, now, ridiculous and preposterous both mean absurd. So, essentially, but there are slight nuances in them. So, ridiculous is laughable. That's fine. That's cool. Preposterous is inverted unseasonable, from the Latin. Yes. So, backwards. Not quite as you would expect. Contrary to nature, reason, or common sense. Yes. I have uncommon sense. This is quite true. I can see things that you can't see. I see patterns, remember? However, and getting back to your imbecile thing, substandard and mental and retarded. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to go into the fact that, you know, my IQ is among, you know, the highest percentile. Some ridiculous number. The last time I bothered to have it checked, they said, oh, we can't actually measure that high, which freaked me out, but never mind. Find it very highly, doubtful that I'm an imbecile. I may indeed be an idiot. I have no problem with being called an idiot, because there are things I do not know. And so being idiotic is, much more likely than being imbecilic, but never mind. So, to my UK viewer, responsibility. I consider it my responsibility to look after myself, my partner, whoever that happens to be at the time, and my children. That is my responsibility. I don't let anyone else do those things. I don't expect the government to provide for me. I don't expect the government to provide for my family or my children. Very simple. However, obviously in the UK, you have fallen into the socialist trap, and you are beginning to believe the nonsense that you can give up all responsibility, and that someone somewhere will look after you. That is the very definition of irresponsibility. But never mind. That's all I'm going to say. Do have a good day, or evening, or early morning, and I will speak to you again sometime soon. 2 more videos coming up. Thanks very much. Bye.